You've got to shoot this bit, Margaret. You've got to shoot it.
Hello listeners and welcome back to the White Alps Ski Podcast, brought to you in partnership with the fabulous Ski Weekends. I'm Dom from In the Snow magazine and of course I'm here with my co-host at last. Where the hell has he been? It's Rob Stewart. I expected a big bushy beard, Rob, with how long you've been gone. Where have you been?
Oh, thanks for the welcome, Dom. It is nice to be back. Yeah, I haven't been in the wilderness, only France and Switzerland, so they do have bathrooms, but I have been away for a while. Welcome to all our listeners for another episode of the White Alps Ski Podcast, as we head into the last and arguably the most exciting part of the ski season, I would say.
Yeah, certainly is. I never thought I was going to see you again, Rob. Every time I text you, you're in a different country or a different resort or a different hotel. But it's good to see you again. Another week of the White Out Podcast, bringing our listeners the latest ski news from around the world. Where's best to ski right now? Reviews of the hottest ski gear. Our regular race updates from the ski racing legend that is Ed Drake. And each week we delve into some of the most incredible ski destinations on the planet. And all that in association with our lovely headline sponsor, Ski Weekends.
Thanks to Ski Weekends, sponsors of the White Out Ski Podcast. They are specialists in short break ski holidays, offering 3, 4 or 7 nights in catered chalets and fully flexible hotel options too. Whether you're a solo traveller, planning a group trip or looking for accommodation in some of the biggest and best ski areas, Ski Weekends has you covered. And for more details, visit skiweekends.com.
Very good.
Actually, I've literally just been staying in their fantastic chalet in Ligier called Marjorie. It's right in the middle. I think you've stayed there as well. It's a large chalet, can sleep around 30 plus guests, right in the middle of Ligier, and run by the brilliant Ski Weekends team. They were absolutely fantastic.
They're so good, aren't they? How good is the cake? I try to bake good cakes. They're not as good cakes as Ski Weekends. Do they buy these things in? They're so good.
I got there on the weekend and I had to do a load of work, so I just sat there in the dining room of the chalet, and they had this basket full of mountain cake, and
right.
cake, all wrapped up in foil, and from the morning or maybe even the day before.
Did you finish it up?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What have we got coming up in today's episode, Dom?
As usual, there's plenty to talk about. We hear from Ed Drake at the Ski Racing Podcast. Now the season has come to an end in Sun Valley, Idaho. Lots of news updates to go through, some exciting new gear to discuss, and of course, where is best to ski now, and our destination of the week, Rob. Where's that?
Well, that is Arosa.
Oh, nice.
And
I'm looking forward to that because I haven't spoken to you about that, and I would like to have come on that trip, but as you know, I wasn't able to go. Excited.
So we are coming to the end of the season. How's it been for you, Dom?
I've had a great season. I've not been away as much as you, but Alpe d'Huez just pre-Christmas. That was really nice. Long time since I've been away pre-Christmas. Very much enjoyed that. Arrived in the snow, left in the snow, and so that was really nice. Sardinia, I've just come back from, where it snowed for 4 days solidly. I had some fantastic snow conditions there as well. Ligier for a short weekend. That was really nice. Lovely sunny weekend, but great skiing, like really nice skiing for a weekend.
Yeah.
That real tonic of lovely sunshine and snow. Where else have I been? Saas-Fee, of course. That was great. Took me a while to get used to Saas-Fee. Took me 12 hours to get used to Saas-Fee. I turned up and I thought, okay. But you know what? Fell in love with the place. Definitely going to be going back. And then I'm off to Aspen in a week's time. But what about you?
Ooh, you decided to become a cowboy for the summer, have you?
Yeah, exactly. It's strictly work, Rob. I won't be herding any cattle, Yellowstone style, but I can tell you it's a big annual conference that I go to, and it's very businessy, to be fair. I know everything's supposed to be work. Okay. The idea of being a cowboy for the summer does appeal, though. Although I've watched that TV show, Yellowstone. Have you seen that?
I've seen a bit of it. I started watching it, actually. I like the idea of being a cowboy for the summer. Could be quite good. I've got a story about some summer work. Yeah. When you're a ski instructor, you get asked all the time what you do in the summer. What do you do in the summer? So I used to make up stories, and my favourite one was that I worked as an aardvark farmer in Argentina.
Which, of course, you did. An aardvark farmer. Where did this come from?
Yeah. Well, so the story goes, I met this girl. I'm talking about a long time ago now.
Every one of your stories, Rob, starts with "I met this girl."
Right, in a flamingo club in Seville.
She
was a flamenco, right?
Yeah.
And her father owned the aardvark farm, right? But he was also a mafia guy. But it gets complicated at that point. So
you went to farm aardvarks in Argentina. Is that an actual thing?
No. Back then, the internet didn't really exist, right? So people couldn't check that aardvark farming in Argentina wasn't really a thing. So they just sort of nodded with this kind of puzzled, confused look on their faces.
I guess they asked and you told them.
Yeah, they asked. So, what do you do in the summer? So it was always a bit of fun. I think some people out there still think that I farm aardvarks in Argentina. Maybe they've come around to the fact that I don't. Or maybe they're listening to this and they're going, blimey, he lied to us all those years ago. 30 years ago, he told us he was an aardvark farmer.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, I recently went on a ski trip purely focused on après ski. Although, of course, we did actually ski as well.
That isn't a press trip, Rob.
Sorry?
That isn't a press trip. That was just an après ski trip.
It was a ski trip focused on the après ski.
But you had to do the skiing first in order for there to be après ski. You can't do après ski without skiing.
Right, exactly. It's just drinking, I suppose, and listening to live music, which were brilliant. Right. I think you should come with me next time. I do this because, it was brilliant.
Did you get on the drums, Rob?
I want to bring you with me next time because, it's...
You didn't have your unofficial agent.
Yes. Well, you should just be my official agent, really. No, it was a lot of fun. The live music in places like Maribel. We're staying in Maribel Village. There's this great après venue down there. It's absolutely amazing. So much fun. And I think I heard the song Teenage Dirtbag about 6 times in 3 days. Exactly.
You could have been right there, Rob. Trying to do my drumming action, but you can see I've never been a drummer.
But it's quite good. I mean, you could have obviously observed drummers before. On a serious note, though, the bands were brilliant. The live bands out there right now are brilliant. And it was all organised by après ski bands. And they put live music on in places like Maribel, in Val d'Isère, in Teen. We went to Coco Rico's in Val d'Isère. Hit that place at about 4:30, and it was going off. A lot of fun. I think people just love that early evening session après. Get it all done straight after the skiing, and maybe even have an early night.
Sounds fantastic.
It was good.
So, what about the news then? Here at the Whiteout, we bring the latest updates from around the skiing world, from exciting resort developments, events making headlines in the ski world. So, Rob, let's get stuck in. What have we got?
Yep, so a bit of a news story here about the world's longest giant slalom returning to Val Gardena on March the 29th. It's now in its 27th year. It's a 6-kilometre challenge that brings together top athletes, ski legends and amateurs for a race like no other. 700 skiers from 24 countries will take on 115 gates and a 1,000-metre vertical drop, starting at 2,500 metres, basically on the Sakida slopes. And the first section is a parallel race before the tracks merge into a single course, leading to the finish at Col Arosa. That's such a lot of fun. I'd love to do that, actually. That'd be exhausting, but you've got big names in the lineup as well, like Dominic Paris, Christoph Innerhofer, and Nicole Delago. Legendary figures like Kristen Gadina, and Carla Janka. Fans can meet the athletes at the bib distribution, catch the action on live stream as well on race day. So yeah, really good in season finale in Val Gardena. It's a big old event, so you can check that out at gardenissima.eu.
Wow, sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the other thing we've got is Ski Weekends launching their 2025-26 ski holidays. Big savings on catered chalets. So obviously we'll want to give them a plug as they're our sponsors. So there's some serious savings to be had, like up to £2,672 off a catered chalet holiday in the French Alps. That means a 4-night stay with catering and return airport transfers from £317 per person. Come on, that cannot be for real. That's amazing. So we're offering a range of early booking incentives, including free places, free ski hire, free lift passes for group leaders. There's even the option to pay in instalments with a £200 deposit. They've got loads of chalets. They range in size from 8 to 42 guests. And if you book the whole place, the lead booker gets a full area lift pass for free. Early booking offers are around until May the 1st. So got to be quick. You've got just over a month to get booking. Just been out on your ski holiday, come back, go and book another.
Well, I think a lot of people do that. And it's sensible to do it, isn't it? And you don't have to pay up front straight away. So the next news story is brilliant, Dom. Jasmin Taylor, British telemark skier, won 2 bronze medals in the Telemark World Championships. It took place in Le Contamine-Montjoie in the French Alps. Yeah, it was brilliant to get 2 bronze medals there. It's an incredible achievement by Jasmin that cements the British skier as one of the best ever telemark skiers in the world. She's won World Cup races. It's worth mentioning that right now she is currently ranked number 1 in the 2025 World Cup rankings.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's time
She's doing great.
Well,
We're often talking about Jasmin, and like you say, telemarketing often goes under the radar. So, yeah, it's great to get them on the map. What a great result.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we should get Jasmin on the Desert Island Ski Resort slot. I mean, we've interviewed her before, but, it's just...
Great idea.
Yeah. What else have we got, Dom?
So, a new survey conducted by online ski travel agency Heidi has revealed that for many, nothing compares to the sense of freedom found in the mountains. Out of 900 participants, 73% feel most free when they're skiing or snowboarding. Right.
I just wonder if the other 27% don't feel free, and if they don't, they need to get a life.
And what are they doing that makes them feel more free than skiing? That's what I want to know.
I do agree with Heidi here. Skiing is about freedom, isn't it, really?
That's great. So as the ski season continues, it's clear that for many, the mountains remain the ultimate escape. I remember somebody that I took skiing once, and I have been subsequently with them, and he said it's the only holiday he knows that when you tell someone at work you're going skiing, they automatically assume they will not be speaking to you while you're away. Whereas every other holiday, like if you're saying I'm going to Mallorca,
right,
people think, yeah, that's fine. I'll still contact you because you're only in Mallorca. Whereas when you say you're going skiing, it means basically you will not hear from me for the next week. So I think that's a great thing.
That's a good point. We should we should remember that more often. Skiing, you won't be bothered. Everybody is skiing. I think the reason why they don't contact you is actually they're so jealous. They just don't want to speak to you when you're having so much fun on a mountain.
I don't want to hear from you sounding so relaxed. Well, that's it for the news this week. Now it's time for Where is Best to Ski Now. We both love talking about the snow, Rob. If anybody hasn't gathered that already, let's face it, it's essentially what we're here to talk about. So let's dive into the best snow conditions for spring skiing, because really we want to round up where's best to go now. If you're thinking, do you know what, I think we can squeeze in an Easter break, because Easter's very late this year, as we all know. We're going to give you a little insight into some of the best places you could possibly nab a last minute good bit of skiing.
Fantastic.
Ready for this season. So what have we got first?
Things are looking pretty spring-like right now across the Alps, although there's still plenty of snow to be found over 1,500 metres. Yeah. In the last couple of weeks, I've been skiing in the northern French Alps and across most parts of Switzerland as well. It has been spring skiing, but there's a few top-ups on the way this weekend, and there's some more snow in the forecast, so especially on that eastern side of the Alps. And the snow depth is holding up pretty well. I've had some warm days, but it hasn't been hot the whole time.
I think there's a chunk around Andorra in the Pyrenees as well, isn't there?
I think they've had some snow over there as well.
They seem to have had a good time over there. They haven't had the best season in the world, but they've had a chunk over the last week or 10 days that's really turned things around and looking good. So, well, we'll make a start in the Alps. France is seeing decent spring conditions in places like Chamonix. No fresh snow this week, but the existing base is holding up well. And with plenty of sunshine in the forecast, it's a great time to enjoy some late season skiing. We've got a colleague out there in Chamonix at the moment, and she seems to be having a good time posting some decent pictures. I have seen some grassy pictures there as well, but the majority have been some pretty nice pictures of some decent skiing.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some great events planned for the end of the season. I was in Avoriaz about a week ago. Spring skiing, it's classic spring skiing stuff. In the morning, that kind of, it was slightly harder snow. Going through the day, you get that middle part of the day, which just is perfect. Maybe it's a little bit slushier in the afternoon, but there's plenty of snow up there. So some of the events, you've got the Freeride World Qualifier Junior 3-star on March the 29th, this weekend, actually. And Avoriaz for that Freeride World Tour, adrenaline pack stuff. And that's hosted by Evolution 2 Freeride.
Very cool.
There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Val Gardena, obviously, it's definitely a favourite of mine. It's offering really good skiing up until the end of the season, which lasts until May 5th.
Yeah, they've got some nice pictures coming out of Val Gardena. I know nobody posts rubbish pictures, but generally with social media, you do see people posting all sorts. They seem to be having a good time of it. So,
well, there's plenty of snow. Again, I was a couple of weeks ago, just for a day, and it was great skiing. Really good skiing conditions there.
Brilliant. That's perfect. And then over in Austria, St. Anton's still looking good with a mix of sun and cloud through the week. The big news is a drop in temperatures over the weekend, bringing some fresh snow, around 2 to 4 centimetres, which should freshen things up quite nicely.
Excellent. Staying in Austria, great spring skiing there. More than 80% of its slopes are above 1,700 metres. And so you got, definitely really good piece, well-maintained piece throughout the spring. The Hintertex Glaciers as well provides pretty much year-round skiing. That's part of the Zillertal Valley, so you've got you've got 458 kilometres apiece and 180 lifts. Not all year round, of course, but that's the full area. Visitors can access it all with as one Zillertal super ski pass, which includes public transport as well. Springtime, you've got events like snow bombing, quirky parties like the Lederhosen Wiedel party. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to a Lederhosen Wiedel party?
It's a great area for this time of the year. The other one to think about is Ischgl. Got a few good reasons to go there. Generally, they've got pretty good snow up until about May the 4th with really nice grooming, lower ski pass and accommodation prices at this time of the year, so you can get a good deal. Top of the mountain concerts with big names like Andrea Berg, Shaggy, and One Republic.
I
didn't quite get it. Some experiences ranging from the traditional to international cuisine. So longer days, warmer temperatures, perfect for relaxing on sun-drenched terraces or terraces. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Top of the Mountain concerts with special performances, anniversary beer and exclusive merch. So really nice having those open-air concerts. You can visit Silverton, which is really nice in Ischgl if you haven't been, with a massive pool bar offering superb views. Yeah, really nice. Well worth heading out to Ischgl. Definitely head out and have a look at the Ischgl website. Great food, great sunshine, great skiing. What more could you possibly want?
Well, I'd like a bit of schnitzel and Kaiserschwarm.
Exactly.
We know what a Kaiserschwarm is. It's a dessert, isn't it, with lovely custard. You have it with custard, can't you?
Yeah.
Very good. Right, and of course, where else would spring skiing be better than the Arlberg? Ski Arlberg, Austria's largest ski area. It's extending its season until April 22nd, and they're hosting the Tanzcafé Arlberg Music Festival during that time as well. So ski and music, basically. While we're all hoping for more snow, there is something special about skiing in the slush. I like a bit of slush, actually.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I like slush.
Yeah. And of course, if listeners want to listen to more about the Arlberg region, they can check back at episode 9 from this season, where we've got a whole dedicated episode to Arlberg, the Lech, Zuz and Anton and Steuben area. So well worth listening to. Series 4, episode 9, which was back in December.
Well remembered.
Thank you. We've got Switzerland, Zermatt, also set for colder weather in the next few days. Light snow is expected over the weekend with a couple of flurries continuing into next week. Nothing major, but enough to keep the piece refreshed. And going forward, that western side of the Alps is set for sun. So again, good spring skiing above 1,500 metres there.
Yeah, and not to forget Grindelwald-Wengen, that Jungfrau ski region, still offering some really good conditions. In fact, I was there just over a week ago. Two of the bottom slopes, the lower slopes, are still skiable, so you can get down to Grindelwald and you get down to Wengen. And Manneken will remain open again for another week until the 6th of April. After that, the lifts around Kleine Scheidegg and the Eiger Glacier will still run, including the Eiger Express, the big cable car from the terminal building in Grindelwald, the Nordvon, the Arven, the Laberhorn and the Vixie until April 21st. Some great runs up there. And operations will depend upon the weather over the next few weeks. Keep an eye on updates, but that's the plan.
And in Italy, as I mentioned, just got back from Cervinia, and the snow was bucketing down day in, day out, and it was super cold. So I'm pretty sure conditions there will still be in good shape. Also, Cortina d'Ampezzo and other resorts around the Dolomites are experiencing mild and mostly sunny conditions, but overall it's looking like a good week for some spring skiing there. So that's well worth looking out for. I
think generally we're going to be all right. Easter is very late this season and people have had to make decisions. But if you're planning to go skiing over Easter and you're picking those classic kind of spring skiing resorts, you'll get some decent skiing in, decent snow. North America, Aspen has seen some warm weather recently, but it is set to get colder again, you'll be glad to know, because I know you're heading there soon, Dom.
I am, yeah.
There's going to be some new snow as the weather changes. Wow. You might even get some powder, at least higher up the mountain.
As long as it doesn't come in when I'm driving from the airport at 7 o'clock at night on my own, a 4-hour drive. I don't want to be arriving and having to put snow chains on the way out.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Whistler, on the other hand, is getting a mix of everything from sun, clouds, and even a little snow on Friday morning. The freezing level is a bit high, but if you head up to the top of the mountain, you should find some decent fresh snow. If you fancy heading out to Vancouver and Whistler for a few days over Easter, why not?
It would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
It would be very nice. Deer Valley is set to open. Deer Valley, of course, in Utah, set to open until April the 20th this year. Lots of new exciting developments underway there. There's early phases of a major resort expansion happening in Deer Valley. And they're having opened 3 new lifts and 20 new ski runs this season. Next year, they're adding another 7 lifts and over 80 new runs.
I'm going to get out and see that.
I mean, that's not just a little kind of like, oh, we'll add a new lift. I mean, that's incredible.
It's a massive area they're opening. It's absolutely incredible.
I have seen some plans for that. It's like doubling the ski area size, isn't it? Yeah. So there's spring break specials, including up to 30% off lodging and lift tickets. So that's Deer Valley and Park City in Utah.
Love it. Love it. And then Japan's Hakuba Valley is always a solid bet for deep snow, especially this winter, and conditions remain good there. No major dumps expected this week, but the base is still solid. And skiing is holding up well. By the time we get into the second week of April, though, I reckon you could still squeeze in a bit of skiing in Japan.
Especially in the north. Once you start hitting April, people go to Japan for the powder, don't they? I do think you're right, Dom. I think it's probably not the classic season, but I've always fancied going to Japan in the spring to experience some of that cherry blossom ski as well. That's the deal now, right?
Yeah.
But we mentioned the Pyrenees earlier. If you're heading to Baqueira-Beret in Spain, that's got the pick of the snow. It has been fairly cold, and more snow is on the way apparently. So there should be some this weekend. It will it's springtime, so expect that proper spring-like conditions there, and also across the border in nearby Andorra as well.
And in Norway, Lillehammer and the resort of Hafjell are experiencing mild temperatures this week, with highs around 9 to 10 degrees and lows just above freezing. While there's no fresh snowfall expected, the existing snow base is holding up, making for pleasant spring skiing conditions.
Nice being in Norway in the spring, isn't it? And Sweden, Aurora is enjoying mostly sunny and pleasant weather right now. Daytime highs around 11 and nighttime lows around 1. The snow conditions are stable because they've got plenty of snow there. There's great spring skiing conditions up there in the north-ish of Sweden.
Yeah, and then in Sälen, the conditions are slightly cooler with highs between 6 and 8 and lows around -3 to 2. The area is experiencing mix of clouds and sun, as you'd expect at this time of the year, with a slight chance of a shower later in the week. Slopes are still in good shape and pretty good for spring skiing. The local guide can highly recommend the Lindvallen ski area, and one of the biggest advantages of Lindvallen is its north and northeast facing slopes, meaning the snow lasts longer as it's sheltered from the strong spring sun. While some slopes elsewhere might be melting away, Lindvallen keeps its ski systems open well into April, offering long, sunny ski days. Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, so the season typically does run until late April in Scandinavia.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, that's it. Where's best to ski this Easter? That was a nice little roundup of where to go. Let you know what Aspen's like. I'll be ringing you from Aspen, Robert. Oh my God, Rob, you should have come.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm just going to say that.
I'd love to go to Aspen, and it's been one of those places that on any skier's list to go to, right?
Oh.
I mean, for anyone that's been skiing all their life, who wouldn't want to go to Aspen?
15 years since I was there last.
Wow.
Even though it's a work-based trip with a lot of meetings in a conference centre and I'll be indoors a lot, I'm still excited.
Absolutely.
Now it's time to head over to the race corner with ski racing worldwide. In this segment, we're joined by British alpine ski racer Ed Drake to bring you all the action from the slopes, covering the latest results, standout performances, and insider insights from the world of ski racing. Let's get into it. Ed Drake, what's going down?
Hey Dom, hey Rob. Just a quick note from me at the Ski Racing Podcast.
Just like that, the 2025 season comes to a close. It's been an absolute cracking set of races over in Sun Valley, Idaho for the World Cup finals. We've just come off air racing the men's and women's slalom. Great season for Dave Riley. Not necessarily the highs that he would have been hoping for, but 3 times in the top 10 is an absolutely cracking bit of work. When he's put in so much effort. Good to see, and a nice way to just build a little bit for the summer months before coming back in the Olympic season in which to do the business. On the women's side of things, Rinka Lucic picked up her first title. It's Croatia's 3rd ever Crystal Globe, so good to see her finally get it over the line. She was very, very nervous about getting the job done today, and she did it not in style, but got the job done nonetheless. Then we've had a couple of really good days racing. Mark Oderat's been absolutely on fire. He picked up the Giant Slalom Tour title, Super G Tour title, Downhill Tour title, and then unsurprisingly, the Big Globe yet again. It is the 2nd year in succession that he's picked up 4 globes, which in itself is a little bit special. The Giant Slalom side of things, it was a bit of an emotional one. Alice Robinson came into the last race in Idaho, leading the standings by 20 points. Needed to finish in front of Federica Brignoni to pick up her first and New Zealand's first ever Crystal Globe, but it wasn't to be. She fell on the first run, and then Brignoni really took the charge to that second run course. Ended up finishing second behind Lara Gutverami, who's finished off the season really, really well, and has actually been really honest about how she struggled with the early season, about finding the love for racing, wasn't sure why she was doing it, and certainly she found the love for racing, picked up 2 wins at World Cup finals and her first Giant Slalom victory of the season. So much to talk about this year. It's been a really good season. Snow conditions have been pretty good, I have to say, as you guys will well know, because I think the men's side of things we've only missed 2 races. The women's side we've missed 3, but that in itself is a bit of a record, it feels like. Next season, it's an Olympic season. It is all about building to the Milan Cortina Olympics in February 2026. So it'll be interesting to see how the racers try and navigate the early season, try not to get injured, but you can't think about not getting injured. But it's always at the back of your mind in Olympic season, wanting to try and rebuild your way, tailor the season all the way through until those Olympic Games. And you never know. It'll be really interesting to see who gets selected. The British team, the 3 Queensmen, Dave, Laurie and Billy, should all get through. We have 1 automatic space, 1 space created by Dave, which means we've got 2. And then if we get 1 more inside the top 30 on the World Cup start list, then we'll get guaranteed 3 into that start list. And we've had some great performances from all 3 of them. We'll be discussing it at length on the Ski Racing Podcast. Thanks for having me on the Whiteout. It's been great to be a part of the pod, and I look forward to seeing you all next season. From me, Ed Drake, bye for now.
That was, of course, Ed Drake live from inside a baked bean tin. What happened to the sound? He must have been inside a can or something like that. Or was he just still in the studio and he just taken his headphones off? Or we just caught the back end of it? What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, well, there's lots going on still, isn't there? Ed covers it really nicely.
Light's gone. I've got to change these lenses, people.
Right.
So next up, Rob, the Gear Guide, where in conjunction with our In the Snow Mag YouTube channel, we delve into previews and reviews of the latest and greatest ski gear, from skis and boots to helmets and goggles. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we've got gear to keep you safe and stylish. So what have we got this week?
Yeah, this is a focus on the SIGB ski test that we did this year back in the end of January 2025. That's how we test our top picks of the new skis coming through for the 2025-26 winter season. It's the UK's biggest ski test, where retailers, instructors and journalists get their hands on the next season models, giving them a real-world assessment in all sorts of conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. This year we've had rain and heavy snow.
Oh, yeah.
We take into account factors like edge hold, stability, responsiveness, and versatility. Basically everything that you choose when you're choosing a life partner. We also mix it with different types of terrain, icy patches, fresh groomers, chopped up afternoon snow, deeper snow if we can find it, even running through the slush when you get down into resort, if there is any.
I often think of my life partner as a pair of skis.
Yep.
You know,
good edge hold.
Good edge hold until they wear down a bit. You've just got to sharpen it up a bit.
Sharpen them up. They're going away for 3 weeks.
Yeah. And if they lose their wax, it all gets a bit slow.
Once the stability goes.
Yeah. And the most important thing is a good pair of bindings, just to make sure you stick with them the whole time. Things go wrong, ping away for a while, put them back on again.
They need to stay responsive.
Yes.
If they don't stay responsive, they're going back to the shop.
The question is, do you prefer an all-mountain version or a free ride one? I'd say.
Free ride for me every day.
I like the racing models myself.
Oh, yes, of course. You would do.
We test a mix of approaches on our ski tests. We do obviously piste skis, fast carving, short turns, and for all mountain and free ride models, a bit of off-piste action as well. We look at how sort of forgiving a ski, whether it suits aggressive skiers or more relaxed skiers, what sort of level is it for, how it performs in all sorts of scenarios, all kinds of terrain, not just those pristine, groomed conditions that you might expect in some ski resorts.
And for several days of rigorous testing, we've narrowed it down to a few of the core favourites in 3 key categories: piste, mountain and freeride. So we thought we'd talk about, to start off, Rob, bit of a drum roll please, are the best piste skis for 2025-26. What about it?
For the piste category, it's about precision and grip and, of course, speed, responsiveness. Our picks for men this year were the Fischer Noise Race Slalom, a ski that's got that sort of race-inspired edge grip, but it's still smooth enough for all-day skiing. Or there's lots of other models in this new range, the Noise range from Fischer. Yep. We picked out the Rossignol Forza Master as well, definitely one of our favourites. And then for the women, the Dynastar Elite 7 really stood out. It's got a blend of really good control, but also energy that helps intermediate and advanced skiers improve their carving skills.
Yeah, very good. All of these skis have that responsive feel you want when you're railing around those turns and the hard pack, but don't punish you when you're relaxing for a little bit in between the runs. You just want things that are going to perform. If you do ever end up in a bit of slush or a bit of tough stuff, you just want it still to be able to perform. But maybe the Fischer Noise Pro Slalom, but like you say, Rob, loads of other models suit different skiing levels available in that new range. What about the best all-mountain skis for 25-26?
Yeah, I mean, that all-mountain category, it's really popular, isn't it? And those do-it-all skis that you need for everything. Groom slopes, bumps, crud, powder, off-piste, whatever. Our top men's picks this season were the Blizzard Anomaly. Just love those skis.
Nice.
The Nordica Enforcer was picked out by our friend and colleague Sam. I like it as well. All those skis come in different widths, depending on whether you want to err more on the side off-piste or piste. We picked out the Blizzard Anomaly 84, but, you know, there's other widths in that range as well. So obviously if you want to go up a bit, wider ski, because you get a ski more off-piste than on, and maybe you go, I think you go down a bit. A lot of people pick something right in the middle. For me, an all-mountain ski, there's lots of debate about this. If you go onto the YouTube channel, there's lots of debate about what an all-mountain ski width should be. And I think if you're skiing in terrain that's like always going to be sort of very powdery, very sort of free-ridey kind of terrain, an all-mountain ski to you is probably a bit wider than someone that skis in a place where maybe there's not always powder available. To them, an all-mountain ski is probably a little bit narrower. For me, if I think about all mountain, it's sort of 85 to 90 mil, and some people then going to shout at me and go, that's ridiculous. An all mountain ski to me is 100 mil to 105 mil. It's like, yeah, okay, fine.
Well, the interesting thing is we've been doing the ski testing for many years. Around 10-12 years ago, the most popular videos were the best piste skis. That was the most popular video.
Yeah.
And now there's around a 30% more listen rate to the best all mountain skis. So I think people who maybe they're not even really off-piste skiers or freeride skiers at all, but actually they just want to have something that has slightly more flexibility, that if it does dump with snow or if it does get a bit slush or a bit cruddy, that they've got something that can handle it better than a piste-only ski. So it's quite interesting to see that transition, actually.
Yeah, that's really interesting. If you're skiing around the mountain that's transitioning from slightly hard pack in the morning through the middle of that day and then sort of ending up in a bit more slushy conditions in the afternoon, that little bit of width underfoot really helps to make turning easy. Really? For me, the all-mountain category has improved. If you go back 10-15 years, people used to go, an all-mountain ski, it's a bit all of nothing, isn't it? They're trying to compromise, they're trying to do everything. But you can't do everything. Well, actually now they've made those all-mountain skis so good. They do perform really well on hard pack groom snow. A lot of them do perform well in softer snow as well, and in bumps and in powder. So yeah, it's interesting.
In the women's category, the Rossignol Arcade 84 really impressed us with its blend of agility and stability, making it one of the most versatile skis on the test. Whether you're blasting down a freshly groomed run or dipping into a tree-lined stash, our FIS ski racer tester Elsa Dooley, she absolutely loved them. But she did point out the versatility they have for all skiing levels, not just for someone like her who is a very good ski racer.
Yeah.
What about the best freeride skis, Rob, for the 25-26 season?
We're on to the big guns now. Freeride skis. Right? They're designed for powder, obviously, steep, big terrain, but they still need to handle those variable snow conditions too, and often groomed slopes, right? Because, you have to get home as well.
Yeah.
I suppose a freeride ski means different things to different people. Some are more powder focused, other more sort of this freeridey, freestyley as well. Our men's choices this year were the Rosignol Sendersol 102. Super floaty in deep snow, yet also very versatile on and off piste. But we also really like the Salomon QST 100s. Yeah. Again, it's a great all-mountain freeride option. I also picked out the Armada Stranger, which is a bit of a surprise because it was built for park skiers that want a freeride. I'm not a park skier.
Definitely not a park skier.
No.
You're beyond that now, Rob, whatever you think.
Well, yeah, I don't think I was ever a park skier. But wow, they were so much fun.
Very good. And for the women, it was the Black Diamond Impulse 104 that really stood out. It's light enough to be playful, but still has enough backbone to charge through the chopped up conditions. And Elsa really liked that, which was great.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob? I mean, do you think it's a fair test? Do you think what we're doing is worthwhile? We get a lot of views on these videos. We get about 500,000 views on the videos we produce, and a lot of questions from people, which is fascinating and interesting. It's great to have that interaction.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's tough picking out one ski in each category, and then also skis are subjective things. But the models that we picked out and that we review, they do seem very consistent in terms of performance, versatility. Rosignol seemed to do really well this year.
They did.
That's just how it comes out. We don't plan that. It's generally our picks. We're not.
It was super interesting, wasn't it? We set up the camera to roll, and the three of you went off to pick your skis, and it was hilarious. You all walked back with the Rosignol ski, and it was like, oh my goodness, look at that!
It was interesting. We were not obligated to any of those brands, so that was just what we felt, and we came back with the same. I would give special mentions to Dina Star, to Salomon, Blizzard, Black Diamond as well. We really enjoyed their skis.
It's interesting seeing those big brands really stand out and consistently coming up with the goods.
Yeah, I think they've been doing this for a long time, and they put so much money into R&D, those brands. We love some of the smaller brands. I mean, Black Crows and Faction, who also do a lot of research, fantastic skis. Absolutely. But, there's so many great skis out there as well. About Volcom, we test Head, we test Elan, we test Fischer, we test Atomic, we test Kassler. I mean, all of those brands are producing incredibly good skis, and we love them all so hard.
To put it into context for the listener, we would test around about 150 skis in a week across 3 or 4 people. I'm right at the sharp end of seeing those reviews and recording for social media and YouTube. I could count on one hand, probably on one finger, how many times somebody gets off of skis and says, I don't like that ski. It's just very rare. And even if they do, it would be down to tuning or just the wrong ski for the wrong conditions. At the end of the day, if it's raining and you've got slush and you've got a ski that's not suited to that, it's going to perform badly. If you're skied on it the next day when there's fresh snow or nice solid green piece, it could perform totally differently, or even if the tuning's not quite right. So it's very interesting.
I mean, obviously, certain ski brands suit certain styles of skier, and I'd say certain sizes of skier as well. Exactly. If you're going to buy a pair of skis, it is worth trying to get to a ski test or rent the skis that you want to buy first, if you can do that, because a lot of ski shops do stock a big range, and just get a feel for them. I know every ski shop now that I go to rent skis, they will always say, come back tomorrow and try another pair, or come back if you don't want them, we'll swap them around for something else. It's not a problem. And just to get a feel for different types of skis, if you're thinking about buying something, it's really good to try them.
We get asked a lot, somebody will say, oh, you chose that ski, why didn't you choose X brand? Sometimes that brand may not even be at the ski test. We can only test what is brought along and tell people what we're told by the manufacturer. We do our absolute best to review as many skis, to compare as many skis. It's a tough job. Someone's got to do it, Rob.
Someone's got to do it. And yeah, you're right. They're not all available to us. Come on, Stockley. Where are you? Britain needs you. I've been skiing on Stockley recently because they were in the rental shops and I don't get to ski them very often. I've skied on 2 or 3 different Stockley skis over the last few weeks, and they're excellent. A bit full on, very powerful ski, even there.
I always enjoy when I go out to Canada or America and you get to ski sometimes something a bit different. I think I skied, is it called an Icelandic? Icelandic, I think they're called.
Okay.
Really powerful, chunky ski.
Okay.
It's just nice sometimes where they do have slightly different resorts.
Well, there we are. If you want to see the full breakdown of all the skis we tested, check out In the Snow Mag on YouTube, or In the Snow website, of course, for both individual and the best of reviews for the skis. You'll start to see in the shops from around well, early October onwards.
Yeah, September, October time. Yeah, good little plug there, Rob. Thank you very much. The very best thing you can do, there is a GB ski test that's just happened about a week ago in Pila. If you're serious about buying skis and you enjoy your skiing, you can go out to the GB ski test. It'll be on again next year. That's well worth looking at, where you can go out and ski as many sets of skis as you can fit in a week with no obligation to buy. But it's a really great decision-making tool, because in the end of the day, what I like, what Rob likes, may be very different from what the next person likes. There you go.
True.
This seems a bit steep for a blue.
Now it's time for our destination feature, and this week we're focusing on that fabulous ski resort of Arosa, where you've just returned.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, it's perhaps not the resort name that immediately comes to mind, but one of those, so I suppose, slightly off the radar places for Brits. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the third largest skiing area in Switzerland, linked with Lenzerheide. Wow. And there's well over 200 kilometres of piste available.
Okay. Well, before we get excited, where exactly, let's just tell everybody, maybe even me, where exactly is Arosa?
Well, it's in the Gmunden region of Switzerland, so not too far from Davos, close to the large town of Chur.
Okay.
You can easily reach Chur by train from Zurich and Zurich Airport. And then it's another train ride up the mountain from Chur to Arosa, which is about an hour's train drive. It's not far, but it goes up the mountain. It is a really nice way to get there.
I'm led to believe that is a pretty beautiful journey.
It's really cool little journey on the train up there. I was told, and I didn't realise this on the way up, so I bought a train ticket on the way up. But apparently if you buy a lift pass in Arosa, and I suppose if you get one online in advance, you can actually use the lift pass the day before you ski. That lift pass covers you on the train from Chur to Arosa. And then on the way back as well, the day after skiing, it covers you on the train from Arosa to Chur. It gives you about 25 francs, I think, on the train fare. So you only have to buy the train to Chur, and then you use your lift pass the rest of the way.
Nice.
I was using that train this week on Wednesday. I went back down from Arosa to Chur, and I thought, I won't buy a train ticket. I'll use my lift pass to get down on the train. It was the day after I was skiing, so I was just in my normal clothes. The train guard woman checked my ticket, and I showed her my lift pass. She looked at me and she said, "You need to be wearing your ski clothing if you're using that lift pass." And I went, "Oh." I said, "Well, I was told I could use it the day after skiing." And she looked at me and she went, "Yeah, I'm only joking."
I like it.
Yeah, she was very serious. Anyway, great way to get.
Nice. So, skiing, on to business, Rob.
Yeah.
What's the skiing like?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good for intermediates, lots of blues and reds. It's a bit steeper on the Lenzerheide side, and it includes a really long run that's used for the World Cup downhill races.
Okay.
And that's on the more northwestern facing side. It's pretty high. The area goes up to around 2,800 metres.
Yep.
And the actual village sits at just below 1,800. So, snowshore.
Very nice.
Slopes do tend to be either west or east facing, as a huge open bowl of the Arosa skiing area. Really wide open bowl. Long runs, not particularly steep.
What about the free ride and people who want something a bit more challenging?
Yeah, there's some really nice black runs. On the Arosa side, they're not that difficult or scary, but they're just nice. I didn't ski off-piste there because the conditions weren't right for off-piste skiing, but I can see there's potential. Definitely loads of easy access stuff just off the ski lifts. I wouldn't say it was a big free ride resort, but I think in Lenzerheide there is more free ride terrain over that side. And I would say the Lenzerheide, if you're staying in Arosa, it's easy to get over. Roughly speaking, the area is split 1/3, 2/3. So 1/3 Arosa, 2/3 Lenzerheide.
Okay. And the lift infrastructure, is that typically Swiss and great?
Yeah, I'd say so. On the Arosa side, there's a mix of gondolas and high-speed chairs. On the Lenzerheide side, it seems to be a more chairlift orientated. A few T-bars around. I mean, you can avoid them. Yeah. The connection lift between the two resorts is really impressive. It's like a pylonless cable car that straddles two peaks. It's pretty quick to get across both areas. So again, both areas, long runs, long lifts as well, but fast, efficient lifts.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Nice. And what about the town? I haven't been to Arosa, so I'll be interested to know what that town's like. I've got a picture in my head of what it's like.
It's a pleasant mix of old buildings, modern buildings, done in a very nice Swiss way, of course. Yeah. It's not a massive town, Arosa. It's easy to walk around. The railway station is right in the centre, so that's also where the ski lifts start.
Okay.
Good mix of hotels, a few bars. It's not the most lively going off resort in the world. It's pretty mellow. And the restaurants, a lot of the restaurants are within the hotels.
Okay.
So I was there at the end of March. It was fairly quiet at the end of March. It wasn't, but very nice. Yeah, very, very nice and pleasant and quite relaxed, I would say. There was a couple of bars that we went out and had a nice quiet drink in. There is a really funny bar on the slopes called the Koo Bar, Kuh, Cow, Koo Bar, and it's kind of the main après hub, just above the village. There is a ski down afterwards. It's a lot of fun. They pump out the proper Swiss music, proper like Oompa Jumper stuff, both inside and outside. It's this huge barn. There's this massive cow's head inside. This sculpture of a cow's head spouts out dry ice through its nostrils.
Brilliant.
I can imagine when things are super busy there, it will be a lot of fun.
Sounds great. Love it.
I mean, other than that...
What about where did you stay? Where did you stay?
Yeah, so I stayed in the Fern Altien, a really lovely historic 4-star hotel. It's recently been fully refurbished to a really high standard. Yeah. It's an impressive place, very nice, very comfortable hotel. It's one of the largest hotels in the resort. It's got 2 restaurants, a big downstairs brasserie and then a panoramic restaurant upstairs with amazing views. I must say the food was really good. They had a pizza oven and the chef's Italian and the pizzas were absolutely fantastic. Even the locals go there for pizza. Really, really nice. There's a spa, a really lovely spa. It's a big hotel, so you've got games rooms. I've never seen a games room like this. I mean, if I walked in there as a 12-year-old boy, I would be losing the plot, right? It was like going into an arcade in a seaside resort town. They had all these games, and of course they don't cost anything, so you sit there and drive or shoot things or whatever you want to do. Wow. Pool tables, table tennis tables, stuff like that. Wow. Cinema room, and so yeah, just a lot of facilities. Great location, literally 5-minute walk from the lift station. So great spot. So check that out, fernresorts.com/Arosa. It is the Fern Altien. And that's Altien is the name of the hotel that has been since it started around 100 years ago. It's a very historic building. Wow. Amazing architecture that they've just renovated. Enthusiastic about that place. It was a very, very nice hotel. Of course, they've got 3 other hotels. One in Cromontana, which I know quite well. I've stayed in the Cromontana Fern Village Hotel, which is also lovely. Fantastic hotel. They've also got a hotel in Wengen. There you go. Yeah. Plug for those guys.
Nice. So to get there, flying into Zurich, I presume?
Fly to Zurich's the easiest way, and then jump on the train to Arosa via Core, which takes around 2.5 hours in total from the airport. It's really easy. I've been using the Swiss railway network a lot this season already. In the last few weeks, I've used it multiple times. I've actually travelled by train across Switzerland, back and forward 2 or 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I literally just buy the tickets on the SBB app, download it on your phone, buy them. So easy, very easy app to use.
What a great trip.
Oh, you know what? The other day I had lunch on the restaurant cart as well. So I was travelling with a bunch of people that were on first class tickets, and I had a second class ticket. This is a tip. You can meet in the restaurant cart, which is between first and second class, and you can sit there, and I had a chicken Thai curry with rice. Ooh. And you can have wine or beer if you want as well, but I just had a Rivella, lovely Swiss soft drink. I had a Rivella and a chicken curry, and it's so civilised. And my friends from first class came to meet me, and I sat there, and I had a second class ticket, but I could also do that as well. We cruise through Switzerland having lunch together on the train, so it's very civilised.
Well, sounds great. Looking forward to checking that out one day. Arosa's on my list, so there you go, Rob.
That is all for this week. Thanks so much for tuning into the White Hat Ski Podcast. We hope you're feeling excited, ready to take your next ski trip. There's still time this season. If you like today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss one.
Yeah, and leave a review for us. It really helps people find this podcast the next time. More reviews means more people listening. And do check out our Beginner's Guide to Skiing in association with Crystal Ski Holidays. It's called Skiing 101. Or pass it on to your friends. It's a 4-part mini-series, everything to do with how to choose a resort, how to hire skis, how to pick where you're going to go, and what's good for one person and what's good for the next, how to get lessons organised, instruction and hiring skis, and everything else you want to know about going on your first ski holiday.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dom. Good one.
Yeah, very good. Have a good week, Rob. And the next time I speak to you, hopefully I'll be in Aspen.
Have fun.
Have a good one. Take it easy.
Cheers.
Talkie-walkie. I'm pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.